You're right there, Mark here, doing an unboxing with a twist. We're going to be working on the Inner Circle Companions here, which has 3 miniatures in the box, as you can see by labelling. Some really lovely designing. I do enjoy my Dark Angels, so I'm not going to hide that. But there's a lot of variances in here, which they do show, which is stunning to actually see. Banners, different poses of your swords. Just the full works. It's lovely. However, as I said, this is going to be an unboxing with a bit of a twist, where I'm going to show you how you can double the amount of models you get out of this box with using a little bit of 3D printing. You can make the most out of the sprues here. So let's open this up and show you all about. Okay, so we got this opened up. You get 3 40mm bases, makes sense. You get your instructional guide of how to build the different models. You get the rules on the back, like they've been doing now for 40k for a little while, and it shows you all the ways of having the different poses, drawing the sword, having the standard, the different backpack pieces, having the brazier, I want to say. Yeah, just plenty of different poses in there, which is great. And it shows you the different sprues. You get this transfer sheet here, which I didn't realise until I opened it. This is really cool. I really do like this transfer sheet. You get the Dark Angels, the Deathwing, Ravenwing, vehicle markers, battlefield roles, squad markers, and you get a successor chapters, which is Guardians of the Covenant, and you get Angels of Redemption. I like this. I do actually like this a lot. So I may be using this on some of my future vehicles that I need to do for 40k, or you could use this potentially for Heresy if you're that way inclined. And then here's the actual sprues. So you get 3 different sprues. They're all, as I would kind of call them, half sprues, half size. Let's move that out of the way so it can make sure it focuses on the sprue itself. So you got 1 Marine on that one. So this is the one which has the brazier. You get 2 lots of swords. You get these backpack braziers by the looks of it, which are really nice. I love the sculpting, the time and effort that's been put into this. You got 2 different head options on that one, but only 1 body and 1 pair of shoulder pads and 1 backpack. It'll make sense in a moment. And then this is the double sprue, or the full sprue. So you got 1 body, 2 bodies, 2 sets of backpacks, 4 sets of the great swords, pistol arm, 2 sets of the backpack braziers, shoulder pads, the banner, which I really do like. It's a bit weird that it doesn't have any actual rules in the game, but hey ho, it looks stunning. And the different heads, very iconic Dark Angel look. More of the really cool heads. But yes, so you may be asking, Mark, what do you mean by doubling the amount of models? I'm just going to transition over and I'll show you in a moment. Alright, so here it is. The 3D printed parts that I'm going to use to be able to double down on the amount of models. Okay, the only parts that are necessary to 3D print to allow this to happen is the bodies. Now, these files don't exist online anymore. They just popped up and they disappeared. I was fortunate enough to find them when I did. If you are able to find these files, please support the creator because they are different. They take a lot of inspiration from the Inner Circle Companions, but they are differently posed. Okay, they do have the feathers, the iconography, so on and so forth, but they are differently posed, so they aren't exactly one-to-one copies. They will just allow myself to double down on the amount of models that I get out this squad. The rest I've just printed to allow me to customize them fully. If you have spare backpacks from intercessors, so on and so forth, you can use those. These ones were some free files that I found that I've been able to print out. And to add some variety to these models, they use Gravis size shoulder pads. So I have got hold of some Heresy inspired shoulder pads where they have the Dark Angel Deathwing style shoulder pad on there with the broken sword, and then some normal ones without the broken sword. But then I've gone for the Hexagrammaton, so I've got Firewing, Deathwing and Stormwing, because the lore behind these Inner Circle companions is heavily implied. They are fallen, redeemed Dark Angels from the time of the Great Crusade. So part of me is thinking, could I incorporate some of the heraldry of the Hexagrammaton, the 6 wings, into there, using the Storm, Death and Fire Wing? Because I don't see myself. Iron Wing was more firepower, not swordsmanship. You had Red Wing, which was more firepower than swordsmanship. And you had Raven Wing. Kind of a long stretch to try and put those as Inner Circle from my point of view. You may have different mileage on there. So these 3 make a little bit more sense for me. And then to carry on with the aesthetic of my Grey-Tide Dark Angels, I am using the ruined base toppers from them to go on the 40mm bases. Then if you do have some spare 40mm bases, please use those. I just use my FDM printer just to print them out, but that's it. So in all fairness, the only stuff you need really to 3D print to get these as close as you can is the bodies, but I've just embellished them more by having the different shoulder pads, backpacks and so on and so forth. So as per normal, I'm going to do a little bit of a montage of me putting these together, and then we're going to recap at the end showing the full GW models versus the 3D printed assisted models and go from there. So catch you in a minute.
In the dark and secretive halls of the Dark Angels, whispers tell of warriors unlike any other. They are the Inner Circle companions, enigmatic guardians who stand watch over the chapter's most revered heroes. Clad in ancient armor and wielding the fabled Calibanite greatswords, they are the silent sentinels of the Lion. Where these companions come from and by what unseen hand they are guided remains a mystery even to the Dark Angels themselves. In the heat of battle, they appear without warning, standing as immovable shields, ready to defend the chapter's mightiest champions. They fight without uttering a word, their only communication carried out through rare, encrypted messages, exchanged between themselves. Each movement, each decision is precise, calculated, and silent. Their arrival coincided with the return of their Primarch, Lionel Johnson. But beyond that, little is known. They appear when needed and disappear just as mysteriously, leaving only questions in their wake. In the shadowy ranks of the Dark Angels, where secrets reign supreme, the Inner Circle companions are perhaps the greatest mystery of all. They serve without question, fight without hesitation, and guard the Lion's legacy with an unwavering silence.
Okay, and we're back. And let's just say it wasn't smooth sailing at all. Building the plastic model, absolutely fine. You just follow the instructions, put the tilt shield on, so on and so forth. The only complicated bit was making the tilt shield slotting correctly, but the rest of it went together an absolute breeze. Now, the complicated part was adapting the multiple different 3D printed parts onto the plastic kit, because the torso was slightly bigger than the torso of the plastic one. It's ever so slightly like, you know, maybe 5% bigger or something like that. I had to swap to some other shoulder pads I got because the Gravis ones were floating around, because the plastic shoulder pads have an indented inside. So the outside is Gravis, but the inside's fitting more like Tacticus armour. So big chunky shoulder pads, inside is more your tactical armour. So I had to get a few other shoulder pads and use some gel super glue to make that work. And another part that I didn't quite keep in the video because I had to do it off recording was there's a chunk behind the torso where I had to carve away to get the backpack to fit more snugly. But in the grand scheme of things, it came out well. But when you put them side by side, you know, there are differences, which I did say from the very beginning. But if you do this method, you can genuinely double the amount of models, and there's very little wastage. To the point is, there's nothing left on the sprue. You know, I've used the extra parts, I've used the extra swords, the extra backpack part, tilt shield, and head to double it down. You can use these extra parts with other models out there, lieutenants, blade guard lieutenants, stuff like that, to give yourself some fancy characters, lieutenants, ancients, bits and pieces, champions if you want, which is great to have these options. But I'm really pleased how this one has came out. I do hope this has inspired you to just have a look around, see which parts you got out there. You may be able to make more out of your existing sprues and just use them as options. I'm not saying, you know, completely 3D print your army. You know, get the parts that you like the look of, get the models that you like the look of, and then add to them. You know, why not have a unit of 6 or 2 units of 3 or XYZ? Insert X unit. But yes, I'm going to do some slow motion pans of these. But thank you again for watching through. It means the absolute world to me. I'm going to go off and build some more of these. But yes, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe for more. I do have affiliate links down below. Any help is very much appreciated. But yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-ra for now. If you've enjoyed the video and the content on the channel, why not throw a subscribe? And if you do so, don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified of all future content coming out. But on top of that, we have YouTube memberships now, starting from as little as £1 a month. All pennies go to supporting the channel, and you get plenty of rewards in the process. Thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next one.